Hi, my name is Wes Swarthout, and I serve on the eldership team at New Community Church in Tacoma, Washington. And I'm just so happy to be able to share with you about the Bible storying that we've been doing at our church in Tacoma, Washington. So we first got started with biblical storytelling about 12 or 13 years ago when a member of our team named Sam Poe came back from Zimbabwe and started talking about something that he thought would really work for our small groups at New Community Church. And he said that we should give it a try. He encouraged us to look into biblical storytelling and implement it in our small group system. And so after many conversations and lots of prayer and just looking into what it would look like, we decided to launch biblical storytelling in our small groups about 12 or 13 years ago. And we started with just 5 groups, and we were fully committed as a team to biblical storytelling. And it's been one of the best decisions we've made as a team. And I'm happy to say that today, 13 years later, 12 or 13 years later, we are still doing biblical storytelling in our small groups at New Community Church. That's great. What have been... Well, one of the main reasons why we decided to begin with biblical storytelling is that we really felt as an eldership team that we needed to be more intentional about making disciples of people in our church. And so biblical storytelling has really helped us to not only share the big story of God, but also help people walk through their faith and be able to disciple them and eventually release them to go and disciple others. And so it's been an amazing tool for us to see discipleship happening in our church over and over again over these many years. And actually people have responded really well. In the beginning we were a bit skeptical about how it would be received. You know, biblical storying, at least for those on our team, it wasn't very well known. And so we decided to really go for it and commit to it. And it's been received really well by the people of New Community Church. And I'm so glad that we made this decision. And it's been a wonderful thing for us to be able to do and to continue to grow in over the years. And it's been a wonderful thing to be able to encourage people and to bring people in to God's story and help people see themselves in God's big story. And it's been so well received. We're so grateful. One story I would like to share with everyone is that in our church, at New Community Church, we did face a little bit of skepticism from some of our people, and including one of our small group leaders that had been telling the story, the big story of God, and had been using Bible storying in our community groups like every other one of our groups. And for a couple of years, felt like it was very hard and was ready to give up on biblical storying and wanted to try something else. And I had the opportunity to sit with him, and we were able to talk through how he was feeling. And in a very simple way, I just encouraged him to be himself as he prepared to tell the story and as he told the story in his small group. And he went away that week, and he prepared, and he told the story in his group. And he came back the next week, and he was so excited because he felt like he had been, in the past, he had been way too mechanical about how he was telling the story and how he was preparing for it. But it's as if he just felt the freedom to be himself and to engage with the story and invite others to engage in the story. And to this day, he's one of our best storytellers. He's fully committed to it. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I had to speak with him and encourage him, even when he was going through times where he wasn't fully convinced if this was going to work in his group and work in our church. But to this day, like I said, he's one of our best, and I'm so grateful that he persevered and that he was able to really give biblical storying a second chance, if I could say it that way. And it's been a wonderful thing. I would definitely recommend churches to begin Bible storying in their small groups. For us, it's been just a great way for us to tell the big story of God and to see people grow in their faith and be discipled in the ways of Jesus. And so I would definitely recommend it. I would definitely be the first one to come and to say, you guys need to do this. It's been so helpful for us. I'm so grateful for the way that God just brought us in and introduced biblical storying to us as a church and into our small groups, and I would definitely recommend it for churches that may be looking into how can we make disciples of Jesus? How can we be more intentional about pointing people to Jesus and pointing people to God's big story and helping people find their place in God's big story? I would definitely recommend it for you as a church leader, as a church, to really ask God and say, God, how can we begin to implement biblical storytelling into our church and into our small groups?